Okay, so this video is going to be short and sweet. This is a short continuation of rebuilding the power booster, the hydrovac on the 55. And that's a better view of the fibrous looking washer that's in the bottom of the bore of the hydraulic cylinder. And that's been kind of puzzling to me because it's not on the exploded view of the unit in the book. And so I took it outside in the sunlight and got a better look at it, and I want to show you what I noticed. Okay, so I'm out in the sun, and when I can see it better, I can see that the washer has a thickness to it. I was afraid that it was sitting tight against the aluminum housing, but I can see that it has a thickness to it, so now I realize that I can drive it out from the other side. So there's the seal that I'm trying to get out. And the book says I'm supposed to be able to drive it out with a flat punch from this side. But you can't get the flat punch on it because of the small diameter of that washer. So now that I know that the washer can come out, I'm going to knock it out. And it came right out, of course. And it also has a bevel on it that's described in the book when they describe what I thought was the steel stop washer. So apparently this is a stop washer of sorts as well. So that's what the mystery washer is. That's what it looks like right there. So now I can see enough of the seal that I know that I can get my flat punch on it. And there's the seal. A little hot, but I heated it up to help expand it so the seal would come out a little easier, because it's been in there for who knows how long. While we're here too, I'll show you, there's a rubber O-ring goes right here, and it's actually kind of hard to see because this thing was so crusty. I had to scratch it out with my pick, and so I'll go ahead and continue cleaning up these parts now and wash them out and get them as clean as I can get them so I can start reassembly. A couple other things real quick. Here's what's left of the O-ring that was right here that I scratched out. And in my other video, I talked about needing to apply heat. This is the 1 1/8 inch fitting that goes in the vacuum control valve. And I talked about that I had to apply heat on this to get it out. But what I should have mentioned too is your piston that goes in the vacuum control valve has these two seals on it. And so if you heat that up, you risk melting those seals, which you get new seals in the kit, but it might make it a little more difficult to get the piston out, and then you'll have to clean out the cylinder if you melt these in there. And you can see there's a little hole in the top. You can use a pick to pull it out, or I actually used a small screwdriver, flat blade that fit right in there, pushed it in there just tight till it kind of got tight, and kind of rotated it and popped it out. That's how I got mine out. And so I've been cleaning stuff up. I'm gonna bring this to a buddy of mine and see if he can undo this braze and replace this piece of tubing because of the kink that's in it. I've got it all cleaned up, and if you remember, uh, this had a lot of sediment in it where it had been settled down and sat for 25 or so years, and it did sort of corrode the inside just a little bit. I've taken some 1,000 grit sandpaper and some 3,000 grit sandpaper, and I've gone all around this, and it's pretty good. It feels real good. There's some a little bit of pitting in it where the vacuum piston had come to rest and sat for so many years, um, but I think it'll be okay. I got it cleaned up. I'm gonna probably wind up painting it, and of course, who doesn't like shiny gold pieces, right? I did that on the wire wheel, and I took some 3,000 grit sandpaper. This is the hydraulic piston, and I just lightly took the 3,000 grit sandpaper, which is basically polishing paper, and cleaned that up real good, and cleaned up the seat where the seal goes. Haven't put the seal back on yet. And by the way, when you go to put these seals on, they're pretty scary putting them on. You got to stretch them really seriously to get them on there. And I used blue dishwashing liquid for a lubricant to get them on. Put this one on from this side, and put this one on from the other side with soap, dishwashing liquid, and they went on. It was a little scary, but got them on. And then the dishwashing liquid, of course, washes out pretty easily.